All right, everybody. Hello. Welcome to today's webinar. My name is Jerry D'Ambrosio. Hope everybody's doing well. Just want to do a quick sound check. Make sure everybody can hear me okay. If you guys don't mind, just use the chat box just to let me know. Say, hey, Jerry, I can hear you. I can see your screen. There we go. Rodney says yes. Anthony says yes. I hear you. Clark says loud and clear. Fantastic. Well, welcome everybody to today's webinar, How to Trade Like the Pros. Hope everybody's doing well. We got a really nice turnout here for a Tuesday evening. It is Tuesday, isn't it? Yep, Tuesday evening. I do want to thank my colleague John Marabu. He's in the background. He'll answer any questions that you guys have along the way. I'll try to answer questions as we go. I got a ton of content to cover here within the next hour. But if I feel along the way there's a question that's really, relevant and pertinent to the topic at hand, I will go ahead and answer it. But I will spend some time at the very end of today's presentation to answer some of the more common questions. Okay, so a few things I'd like you guys to do for me first. Number one, grab a pen and a piece of paper. Of course, grab something to drink if you'd like. But I will ask somebody out there to write a few things down in a little bit. So just somebody grab a pen and a piece of paper. That's going to come in pretty handy here in a little bit. Number two, get rid of any distractions. Anytime I listen to a webinar, if I'm in the office, haven't been in the office in a little while, working from home as most people are, but if I'm in the office listening to a webinar, I like to close my office door, try to keep my phone, a little further than arm's length, just so that I'm ready to learn. And that's what you guys are here for. You're ready to learn. I really commend you guys for that. So speaking of learning, here's what you are going to learn today. I'm going to go through 5 common principles professional traders follow. I'm going to teach you an extremely easy and effective short-term trading strategy. And then finally, how to quickly and easily identify the best trades. And my promise to you is that if you follow the steps we discussed today, you'll know how to identify the correct setup, entry, and exit for each trade. And we've got a lot to cover today, and I really want you to stick to the end. If you stay with me to the end, we're going to be together no more than an hour. If you stay with me to the end, I'll share with you a copy of today's slides. Just somebody remind me at the end. I usually forget. Say, hey, Jerry, at about, 4:30, about 20 after 5 Eastern time, just say, hey, Jerry, don't forget the slides, and I'll put them in the chat box in the handout section of your GoToMeeting control panel. All right, just again, somebody remind me right around 5:20 p.m. Eastern time. All right. So let's start off by talking about what makes a pro a pro. All right, so what are the qualities that separates these men and women from the average retail investor? And this segment here is all about getting you guys in the right mindset, because there is a correct mindset that you have to be in to begin to think like the pros think. And this is all about this isn't your buy and hold retirement approach. Okay, this isn't for your option portfolio. This is for the capital that you have set aside to trade a little bit more actively, and we hope you all are doing that. So I mentioned 2 different investment vehicles, right? I mentioned your retirement portfolio where you have your core holdings, fundamental valuation, right? Value, earnings per share, earnings growth rate, sales growth, relative safety. If you're a VectorVest subscriber, you know what relative safety is and how important that is, important of an indicator that is in a retirement type of a portfolio. You may have money set aside of just a portion of your overall investment capital devoted to option trading, and then you have money set aside to trade a little bit more actively. And we feel you all should be doing that. I hope you are. And this is what that's all about. So we're going to set aside a portion, and I can't tell you what that is. You have to kind of determine that. Everybody's going to allocate a different amount, to different investment types. So you're going to understand how much money you're going to allocate towards this, and that's kind of what we're talking about. So the first thing that separates a pro from the average retail trader is they're realistic. So they know that there's no magic pill that they're going to take that will make them better traders overnight. Success in this industry, in any industry really, I don't care if it's business or finance or construction or sports, It doesn't matter. If you ask anyone who's ever gotten to the top of their field, they'll tell you that it took hard work, didn't happen overnight. They really put in the time and the effort. So pros know this. We all have to understand that we're not going to become millionaires overnight. It's going to really come with some effort. You got to put in the time. And again, it will come as long as you do that. Next is that they control their emotions. This is the hard part. This is really the hard part. They don't allow losing trades to affect them. Pros don't think of the money first. They focus on doing the right things, making the right trades, and they know that if they do that, the money will come. And this is easier said than done, this part right here, because we're talking about our money here, our hard-earned money that we don't want to see get flushed down the toilet, for lack of a better phrase, right? So we become emotionally attached to it. But that's, again, one of the characteristics that separates, pros from everybody else. They know that if they follow their plan and do the right things, make the right trades, the money will come. And the reason they feel this way is because they place trades based on facts and data rather than gut feelings. And we've all been there. I used to, earlier on in my career, I'd place trades because I just knew it was going to go up, right? I had a feeling. Pros don't think that way. They look solely at the information right in front of them to make decisions. And they're prepared. They know exactly when they're going to get out of a trade even before getting in. And I really like this slide because you guys know, you've flown before, right? You get on an airplane, and even before the plane taxis away from the gate, what does the flight attendant do? Walks you through how to get off the plane in case of an emergency. And that's kind of very similar to how professional traders treat every trade. They know exactly when they're going to get in, even before, know when to get out, even before getting in. So just ask yourself, do you know that? Do you know exactly when you're going to get out, even before getting into every single trade? Okay, if you don't, then that's something that you'll obviously need to work on. And the reason why is because they've examined and tested different techniques to figure out which one is best. They don't just say, okay, I'm going to get out with a 5% trailing stop on every stock I buy. It's not like that. I mean, you can say that that's what you're going to do, but does that make sense for every trade that you place, right? Dr. David Paul, he's a manager of VectorVest UK, managing director of VectorVest UK. You may have heard him speak before. He teaches with me in a number of different courses, and I'll never forget this. He says this, and I'll steal this from him. He says when you're trading, when you're swing trading, your stop needs to be where your stop needs to be, not a blanket 5% stop on every stock, because that doesn't make sense for every trade. Each individual stock has its own kind of behavior, and your stop criteria will be different with every trade that you place. And lastly, and most importantly, I think professional traders are disciplined. They stay sharp and focused when things are going well, and they're resilient when they're not going so well. So there'll be bumps in the road, right? You'll have losses. You'll have a cluster of losses. It's how you deal with those losses that will determine, kind of how much success you have. And it's part of their plan. They know they know going in that they're going to have losses. It's how resilient are they going to be when those losses happen. February and March of this year, I can't imagine how many traders, kind of newbies maybe, not pros, but just kind of the average trader, threw out their trading plan. They just threw everything, scuttled the ship, and said, I can't deal with these losses anymore, only to see the market do what? Rally, in terms of the NASDAQ, to new highs. I know the S&P and the Dow aren't there yet. VVC is not quite there yet. But we've rallied nicely. And I got an email from a subscriber not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, who was that person, who was that trader, who just threw in the towel in March, close to the end of March, only to see the market recover. And he said, if I just would have stuck to my plan, I'd be in much better off shape than I am now. So you have to have a plan. You got to stick to it. Now, what happens if you continue to struggle with some of these things? Not following the plan, not having a plan, letting emotions get in the way, thinking that this is just going to happen overnight. You know, you're going to go broke. I don't mean you're going to be unemployed, living on the streets, but you won't be playing this game too much longer because losses will just keep building up and building up. You're going to wind up broke with no more money to invest. If done the right way, if you start to correct those things, you'll know exactly what you're doing no matter the situation. So just think about the confidence that you'll have. And confidence is a big part of what we're doing here, okay? And once you start to develop better habits, you'll start to see more consistent gains. Now, there is a big mistake that traders make when first starting to implement short-term trading systems. They follow unproven, complicated strategies. They feel like they need to use 5 or 6 different technical indicators or 2 or 3 different types of moving averages to identify entries and exits. For some reason, new traders who are just starting out trading this way, they find value in complexity. It's going to lead to frustration. You're going to be confused, frustrated. You're going to throw in the towel. You're going to say, I'm not doing this. I'm not swing trading. This trading stuff is not for me. I'm going to stick to what I know, kind of my position trading, longer term buy and hold, fundamental valuation. That's what's going to happen. Okay, if you think that you need to use all of these indicators. What I want to show you today is what's called the RSI-2 trading system. It was developed by Larry Connors. You may have heard of Larry Connors. He's an author. He's a trader. He has over 30 years in the financial markets industry. This strategy focuses on stocks in long-term uptrends, but are experiencing short-term corrections. Now that's rather vague, right? If you just say that on its surface. Stocks in long-term uptrends, but are experiencing short-term corrections. Well, what does that mean? Well, he defines it. He defines what that means. And I'll explain in a second how he defines that. But what I love about this system is that it's so simple. It doesn't use 6 different indicators and 3 different types of moving averages. It uses 3 indicators. A 200-day moving average, that's a simple moving average, to identify the long-term trend, and a 5-day simple moving average and the relative strength index for the short-term trend. Okay, so that's how he defines long-term and short-term trends. Let me show you how this strategy works. Here we're looking at Procter & Gamble from November of 18 to November of 2019. During that time period, don't worry about the time period. Don't worry about why I went back so far. I'll explain why in a moment. But during this time period that we're seeing here, great stock, right? Goes from bottom left to upper right. Stays above the 200-day moving average the entire time, but falls below, every once in a while, falls below its 5-day moving average. That's the white line running through price. Long-term uptrend, short-term correction. So again, long-term uptrend is price remaining above the 200-day moving average. Short-term correction he defines when price falls below the 5-day moving average. So we'll add the final layer to it, right? Relative strength index. That's the 3rd indicator used here. And relative strength index is scaled between 0 and 100. And the industry standard, let me make sure you guys can see my cursor. The industry standard look back period for the relative strength index is 14. We are looking at daily price bars. We're not looking at an intraday chart. We're not looking at a weekly chart. We're looking at a daily chart. So we're looking at a 14-day RSI, 14-day look back with the extreme lower level at 30 and the extreme upper level at 70. And you can plot this on any chart over time. You could show the RSI movement. Okay. Now, using the industry standard settings, you can see that the 14-period RSI fell below 30 only once. I actually had to go back further. Remember, we were looking at that chart from November of 18 to November of 19. From that time period, the RSI, 14-period RSI, didn't fall below 30 at all. So I had to go back a little further just to show you when the 14-period RSI fell below 30. And that was a good buying opportunity, don't get me wrong. Just simply using the industry standard 14-day RSI, going below 30, good buying opportunity. What Larry Connors did was he speeds up the indicator. and changes the look back period to 2. So it's a 2-day RSI, not a 14-day RSI. You could see it's, it creates more signals, obviously, right? When you do that, when you change the look back period of an indicator, you also have to adjust your extreme levels. So he shortened the look back period to 2 and lowered the extreme level from 30 to 10. So here's your system. Ready? Along with the price of the stock above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10, there's your trade. Above the 200-day moving average, long-term uptrend, but below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10, short-term correction. All right, let's take a look at what this trading plan looks like written down on paper. So here are our entry rules. We are going to buy only when the stock is above the 200-day simple moving average and below the 5-day simple moving average with the 2-period RSI below 10. And we are going to enter near the close of the day. And when I trade this system, I'm entering at about 3:50 to 3:55 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm putting a market order in. Not messing around with limit orders. There's a chance I might not get filled. I'll put a market order in. I just want to get into the trade as close to the close as possible, as long as those 3 rules are true. Price above the 200-day moving average, below the 5-day moving average with the 2-period RSI below 10. Okay? Our exit criteria is as follows. We are going to exit when price goes above the 5-day simple moving average, and we are going to exit near the close of that day. 3:55 p.m. Eastern time, put a market order in, get out of the trade. Okay? So let's take a look at some chart examples here. Okay, so what I've done is I've zoomed in to July of 2019. Okay? And if you recall, from November of 18 to November of 19, the price of the stock was above the 200-day moving average, remember? The entire time. However, when I zoom in here, we lose that 200-day moving average. I can't see it anymore. Okay? But just know, with every example that I show you, price is above the 200-day moving average. Jeff, I'll get there. We'll get there in a little bit. Jeff is asking how to identify stocks that are good candidates for this. I'll get there. Okay? So on July 23rd, price of the stock above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average with the 2-period RSI below 10. Okay? Sean is asking, what if the price closes back below the 5-day before the close? That's why you're going to get in so close to the close. I've never experienced that happen where I see price about to close above the 5-day moving average, and then at 3:55, and then within the last 5 minutes closes below it. Okay, I've never seen that happen. Okay, so on this day, July 23rd, we are going to enter the trade. Again, price above the 200-day moving average, but about to close below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. How do I know that this stock on this day closed here and didn't close here at the top? Well, it's a filled candle. Okay? It's a filled candle, meaning the close was at the bottom of the body and the open was at the top of the body. An unfilled candle means that the close was at the top of the body and the open was at the bottom of the body. Red candle means it closed lower than the previous day's close, and a green candle means it closed higher than the previous day's close. It doesn't matter whether the candle that you enter in on is a filled or unfilled candle. Doesn't matter, as long as price is about to close below the 5-day moving average. Okay? Notice here, right? Price closed below the 5-day moving average. It closed below the 5-day moving average here, and it looks like it closed below the 5-day moving average here as well. But we didn't enter on those days because the 2-period RSI was not below 10. Okay? No, Jeff, I'm not going to do that. Jeff is asking, can you show us how to dial these charts up on VectorVest? I don't have time to do that here today, but just give our support department a call. They'll walk you through it. Okay? So on July 23rd, 2019, we are going to buy as close to the close as possible. Now, I don't know what the stock's price was at 3:55 or 3:57 p.m. Eastern Time on July 23rd. I don't know what it was on that day. So for the purposes here, I am going to use the close. Stock closed at 113.85. We are getting in as close to the close as possible. When do we exit? We exit 1, 2, 3 days later, as close to the close as possible, at roughly $114.73. Okay? Why? Well, look at where the stock opened below the 5-day moving average on that day. That's July 26th. Crossed above it during the day, but we're not going to exit just as it crosses above the 5-day. We are going to exit when price is about to close above the 5-day moving average, and we exit at 114.73. Okay? Okay, so I'm sorry. I should have. Bob is asking, why wouldn't you wait for an up bar to enter? Okay, good question, and this is how I'm going to answer, guys. I usually wait a little longer in the presentation to say this, but here is a blanket answer to any question that starts with why wouldn't you do this, or why don't you do this, or why not do this? You know, those type of questions, right? Blanket answer is going to be because Larry Connors didn't develop the system that way. I'm sure he tried so many different variations of it and it didn't work as well. So that's my answer to any question of why not do this, or what if I did this. Number one, I don't know how it would change the system or the type of success you would have if you changed anything from what I'm showing you here. I don't know how it would work. I didn't develop the system, Larry Connors did, and he developed and published it this way because I'm sure of the years of testing that he did that this is how it worked the best. Okay, so that's going to be my blanket answer for any question that starts with why not do this, or what if you did that. Okay, so here is a winning trade, isn't it? We buy near the close of the session because price is about to close above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. We buy at roughly 113.85. Again, really getting it in as close to the close as possible. We sell at 114.73. That's a winning trade, isn't it? I'm not saying we're hitting home run. We're not going to hit home runs with this system. It's a short-term trading strategy. The very next day, we have another setup, don't we? And I'm not saying that if you would have bought the stock the day before that you're going to buy more of it on July 24th. If you didn't buy it on July 23rd, let's say you didn't have any buying power left, or you were on vacation, or whatever reason you weren't watching the market on July 23rd, but you were watching it on July 24th. And you see that on July 24th, the stock's price is still above the 200-day moving average, but still below the 5-day moving average with the 2-period RSI below 10. We are going to enter as close to that close as possible. And in this case, we'll enter at roughly 113.15. And if we bought it on that day, we'd sell it at 114.73. That's another winning trade. So earlier I asked somebody to take out a pen and a piece of paper. What I want you to do, if you do have that, I want you to create two columns, a W column and an L column, a win column and a loss column. And so far we have two wins, right? We have two winning setups. So what I'm going to show you here is a number of setups, a number of opportunities to enter and exit these using the RSI2 system. The very next setup after that July 24th setup was not until August 5th. And I'm not cherry picking, I'm literally going from left to right here on this chart. So on August 5th, we have another setup. Why didn't we enter the trade the day before? Didn't price close below the 5-day moving average? What about the day before that? Price closed below the 5-day moving average. Didn't. But look at the 2-period RSI. It didn't cross below 10. But on this day, August 5th, we see at 3:55 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to wait another minute or two, that's fine. But again, as close to the close as possible. We enter in at 113.08, roughly. We sell 2 days later at $115.52. Price is just about to close above the 5-day moving average. And somebody asked, what happens if you exit the trade and price closes below the 5-day moving average? Well, there's nothing you can do, right? You get out of the trade. But I've never seen that happen. All right, but price we exit at excuse me 115.52. That's another winning trade, isn't it? We're only in the trade 2 days. We make a couple of bucks, per share. The next setup, we had to wait another month. September 10th of 2019. Price is still in a long-term uptrend. We know that the stock's price is above the 200-day moving average, but it's pulling back. It's in a short-term correction where price is about to close below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI dipped below 10. We buy at roughly 119.88. We sell 2 days later again at a nice gain. That's a really nice gain. It's almost $3, $122.77. Price gaps up above the 5-day moving average, dipped during the session, rose a little higher during the session, winded up closing a little off of the high, higher than the open, closing at 122.77. We're out. We get out as close to the close as we can. The very next setup was October 2nd of 2019. Price is still in a long-term uptrend. It's still above its 200-day moving average. That's really important. Why is that important? Because we are essentially, guys, buying stocks on the way down, right? Well, pullbacks, which is essentially what we are trying to catch and what we're buying, in a long-term uptrend are more likely to be just pullbacks than the beginnings of a new downtrend. And he has set this system up really nicely using the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI. So on October 2nd of 2019, we buy at roughly 121.08. We sell 2 days later at $124 even. Price clearly about to close above the 5-day moving average. We exit the trade. Okay. Jeff is asking if RS and RSI are the same. No, RS is relative safety, which is a VectorVest proprietary indicator. RSI is relative strength index, which is an industry standard technical analysis indicator. Clark says, does the 200-day moving average have to have a positive slope? No, it doesn't. Its price has to just be above it. Okay. So on October 14th, 2019, got another setup. So you might be asking about or wondering about, okay, well, what about stop losses, right? Well, Larry Connors developed this system not using stop losses because he felt that stop losses would hurt performance in the long run. Over time, using stop losses, and I'm using my air quotes here, stop losses hurt performance over time. So he's just established or laid out an exit criteria. Because on this day, October 14, 2019, we got another setup, right? Price is still above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. We buy at 120.05. When do we sell? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days later, as price is about to close above the 5-day moving average, but we sell at 119.08. Well, that's a losing trade, isn't it? Right? That's a losing trade. Somebody's asking, with the volatility in Tesla, how can we trade without stop loss? Don't trade this system. So I'm teaching you a very precise system of buying and selling. So if you feel that the stock in question is too volatile, then don't trade this system. Again, this is how Larry Connors developed it. This is a losing trade. So instead of using stop losses necessarily, you're using an exit criteria. It's called an exit criteria. You exit only when price is about to close above the 5-day moving average. And sometimes, not often, sometimes that results in a losing trade. We've seen, 4 winners in a row, haven't we? The very next day, we have another setup. If you didn't buy it the day before, okay, Clark is asking, can you put in a stop loss at the end of the day? We're not using stop losses. We are using exit criteria. The exit criteria is we are closing positions at 3:55 p.m. Eastern Time when we see that the price of the stock is about to close above the 5-day moving average. That is our exit criteria, and that's it. Notice on this day, price opened below the 5-day moving average and crossed above it during the day. We are not exiting the trade as soon as price crosses above the 5-day moving average. We are exiting the trade at 3:55 p.m. Eastern Time when we see that price is about to close above the 5-day moving average, and we are using a market order. So that's another winning setup. A couple of days later, question is, if we're buying on the way low red candle, how do we ensure price action is not going lower? You are getting in at 3:55, 3:57 p.m. Eastern Time. How much lower is it going to go in the last couple of minutes of trading? Okay. Duran is asking, so we have to be in front of the computer at the end of every day? Yes. Yes, you do. You got to be there to see if price is about to close above the 5-day moving average. Okay. So if we enter at 116.63 here, we sell at 119.08. That's another winning trade. Okay. So how many wins and how many losses was that? Did anybody keep track? I'll tell you, that was 7 wins and 1, Clark says 4 and 1. No, that was 7 and 1. 7 wins and 1 loss. Okay. So what I did was I went all the way back to November. So I showed you from July of 2019 to maybe October or November of 2019, right? I showed you about 7 or 8 setups there. We had 7 wins, 1 loss. Well, I went all the way back to November of 2018, all the way to current, and I did the same analysis. Okay, I did the same analysis. And from November of 2018 to current, there were 27 RSI2 setups. I showed you 8 of them. There were 27 RSI2 setups. There were 24 winning trades and only 3 losing trades, one of which I showed you. That's an 89% winning trade percentage on that one stock. Okay? So you're probably asking, well, how is this system, how did it perform? How many losers did we get? How many winners did we get in the last, let's say, 5 months? Well, none of those 3 losers were in the last 5 months. Can anybody tell me why we didn't have any losing trades since February of 2020? Why didn't we have any losing trades since February of 2020? Good, guys. Because we didn't take any trades. Right? Price has been below the 200-day moving average this entire time, with the exception of here in early April, right? We didn't take any trades. So it only focuses on stocks, and you only take trades when the stock is in a long-term uptrend. Okay, so let's kind of put some dollar amounts to this, like dollar performance to this. What you're looking at here is an automated trading system that centers around and uses the same stock selection, the same entry criteria that I just taught you. This trading system buys stocks when the price of the stock is above the 200-day moving average and below the 5-day moving average with the 2-period RSI below 10, and it places the trades at the close of the day. Okay, it's an automated trading system. We don't know what the price was at 355 on any given day from February of 2010 all the way to current. So this trading system uses that closing price as long as price is above the 200-day moving average but below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10, it bought stocks. Now, within the confines of the VectorVest backtester, we don't have a way to automate closing the position when the price of the stock closes above the 5-day moving average. We just don't have that in the program. So what I did in developing this trading system is I tweaked it a little bit. Okay, so there is a slight variation to the exit criteria that I just showed you, the one that Larry Connors developed. Okay, but just know that this system here uses the same entry criteria as the one I just taught you, but the difference is the exit criteria, slight variation. So from February 8th of 2010, just to about a week ago, this system is up 544%. That's 52% a year, with 91% winning trades. Now, 91% winning trades would be, not as impressive if you were looking at, 9 winners and 1 loser, right? All right, you got 10 trades, you got 9 winners and 1 loser, still impressive. But over a 10-year period with 91% winning trades, we're talking about 202 winning trades and 15 losing trades. That's your 91% winning trade percentage. And I know, guys, that recently the portfolio got hit, right, pretty hard in February and March. Our stock, we had a number of losing trades during that time, but it's rallied and we're back to new highs. Okay? The VectorVest composite, the overall market has gone up during that same time period. It's doubled. The VVC has doubled. It's gone up over 100%. Needless to say, we are outperforming the market by a factor of 4. Okay? So on December 3rd of 2018, we decided to put real money to that. We looked at that long-term performance and we were just blown away. 90% winning trades. We've never seen that before in such a long-term test. So on December 3rd of 2018, we put real money to it. And it's up 28%. Okay? Even up 28%, even with the market crash during February and March. And this real money portfolio has 88% winning trades. 48 winners and 6 losers. And I will tell you that 5 of those 6 losers occurred here in February and March. We had 1 loser, 1 losing trade from December 3rd of 2018 to February of 2020. We went a whole year with 1 loser. Okay? Enter coronavirus, right? And our portfolio took a hit. We got a number of losing trades, but we've weathered the storm and we're coming back rather nicely off of the March bottom. Okay? The market over that time period, December 3rd of 2018 all the way to current, the VectorVest composite is only up 3%. Okay? So the portfolio is up 28, the market's up 3. We're outperforming the market by almost a factor of 9. So you may be thinking, that's pretty impressive. I don't have time, though, to look at all these charts. I don't have time to look at graph after graph to identify this setup. You're thinking, if I'm supposed to enter near the close of the day with this trading system, I'd have to spend a lot of time looking at graphs, right? Well, what I'm about to tell you eliminates all of that time. No matter what we teach you here at VectorVest, we want you to be able to do it faster, smarter, and better. So here's a couple of guesses as to why you tuned in today. So you heard that this webinar was called How to Trade Like the Pros. So you probably thought I was going to teach you something about how professional traders trade, right? So you wanted to learn from the best. That's why you're here. You want to take emotion out of your trading. This one is huge. This one's a big part of maybe what's holding you back. You really want more confidence. You want a system of buying and selling that is proven and that will give you confidence that you will have the success that you're looking for. And maybe right now you're not where you want to be. So the question that you're asking is, how can I take my game to the next level? I want to start thinking like a pro. I want to start trading like a pro. So you have a choice. You can do it alone, maybe take bits and pieces of what I showed you here today, or we can give you all of the answers. And that's why Steve Chappell and I put together this 6-session webcast series where we teach you techniques from 3 of the very best professional traders in the industry, Larry Connors included. You'll learn top trading strategies of the pros and how to quickly and easily identify the best trades. I hope, guys, that you saw that if you learn to implement strategies like the one I showed you today, you'll get there. You'll achieve the success that you're looking for. So this fine-looking man, his name is Hugh. Hugh is a graduate of our Trade Like a Pro course, and he sent me an email not too long after the course was over. He said, I'm a retired financial services executive, so I had to unlearn what the, quote, street teaches to start making money. Before taking the Trade Like a Pro course, I found it was difficult to stick with a system since there were just too many variables. I never could achieve the short-term trading success I sought. After taking the course, I began to see results right away. I now have a successful approach, and I'm much more disciplined with my trading. So here's what we're going to teach you. Steve Chappell and I will be your instructors. Here's what we're going to teach you. It's a 6-module course, and these are 6 pre-recorded modules. And the great thing about the new VectorVest University as opposed to Digital Chalk, if you guys have taken a course, one of our courses before in Digital Chalk, you know that we would release 1 module a week, right? We would deliver 1 module a week. So you'd have to wait 6 weeks if you wanted to learn more about the RSI2 trading system, or another system that Larry Connors has developed called the RSI25 for ETFs. You'd have to wait 6 weeks. With the new university, as soon as you register, you will be given access to all 6 modules right away. You will also be given access to all of the mastery sessions that we did back in March, the last time we offered this course. 1 for each mastery session, 1 for each module, excuse me. You'll get it all right away. For you guys, for those of you that registered for this upcoming course, we're going to do 6 new live mastery support sessions. So the old ones will be replaced with the new ones as we go. But I really compare it to, it's like Netflix. You know, you get them all on demand. You can watch all 6 modules within the next couple of days if you wanted to. That's different than the Digital Chalk. So those are the 6 modules. We start off with getting you in the right mindset for the remainder of the 5 weeks. We talk more about how the pros think, managing risk, and order entry. We teach you in Module 2 about bullish and bearish candlestick reversal patterns. Module 3 is all about using the correct indicator for the market that you're in. And then Modules 4, 5, and 6 are about the professional traders that we'll teach you. Steve will teach you the Holy Grail, okay, which is a technique developed by Linda Ratchke. I will teach you 2 systems, one called the 50-50, the other called 80 Excellence, which are 2 systems developed by Charles Schaap. And then we'll finish things off with Larry Connors' RSI2, a little bit more about RSI2, and then RSI25 as well. Okay, yeah, Orma, I'm getting there. Absolutely. Let me continue. As a special bonus, we're going to give you this course free. We sell it for $995, but we're going to include it in the Trade Like a Pro registration. This is called Master the Art of Candlestick Analysis. This is a 6-session webcast series devoted exclusively to bullish and bearish candlestick reversal patterns. Same thing as with the Trade Like a Pro. You'll get all 6 modules. You get all 6 mastery sessions right away. This is Randy. He was another graduate of our Trade Like a Pro course a few months back. He wrote me an email. He said, I'm a retired secondary school teacher of math and computer science. Ever since I was 13 years old, I follow the stock market. I'm now 67, and since retiring, I primarily day trade and swing trade both in the U.S. and Canadian markets. Excuse me. Prior to taking the Trade Like a Pro course, I had some success, but I always felt that my approach to trading was missing something, like a technique or a mindset. I always struggled with entry and exit points, primarily exit points. I thought if I didn't get a handle on this, my returns would remain stagnant. After the first module, I started trading the following week with more confidence and a more positive approach. So here are some other bonuses, all right? We are going to provide you guys and deliver 6 live mastery support sessions. If you go in, once you register and you go in and you watch the current modules that are in there, and the mastery sessions that are in there, the ones that Steve and I did back in March, you'll notice, though, that as we deliver these new live mastery support sessions, the old ones will be replaced. And that's the great thing about the new university. Let's just say 6 months from now, we do another Trade Like a Pro course, but Steve and I decide to re-record the modules. You will get the new content. That's different than Digital Chalk. In Digital Chalk, you had access to it for a year. By the way, you will have access to this for a whole year as well. You had access to it for a year in Digital Chalk, but your content remained the same. The system wasn't set up where we were able to replace the old content with the new content as we go. It's different in the new university. You'll get the new content as it's delivered, and you don't have to pay for the course again. So 6 months again from now, if we decide to do new modules or even the new live mastery support sessions that we will do 6 months from now when we offer the course again, you'll get those new ones. Okay, you'll get those new mastery sessions. You will also be given 60 days access to our VectorVest real-time program, or what we call VectorVest the Premium. Okay, This includes pro trader searches. These are technical analysis scans, and it will include the auto timer as well. Clark says, is sizing trades addressed? Yes, it is. Okay, now, I'm sorry, let me go back. The 60 days access to VectorVest Real-Time or VectorVest Premium is if you don't already have it. If you already have it, we don't extend your subscription or your trial any longer. You already have it. Another bonus is a live trading session. This is essentially Module 7. And I'll go over the dates, guys, of the live mastery sessions and this live bonus session, which, again, is essentially Module 7. This bonus session is where we'll implement what we've learned over the course of the 6 weeks. We'll show you how to use RoboTrader to manage your trades. And we're going to be trading on paper, but I'm going to take you through everything from market analysis to trade setup, to trade execution, to trade management. Okay, and we start early in the morning, and I'll get to that in a moment. Now, here you go. All right, so Orm is asking, will we get the setups in ProTrader? Exclusively for workshop attendees, you'll all receive, if you register, pre-built scans that will make finding your trades really easy. You were probably thinking, great, all right, they're going to teach us the Holy Grail, they teach us the 50-50, they teach us the RSI-2 and the RSI-25, but how on earth are we going to find stocks to actually trade? Am I going to have to go through hundreds of charts a day? You won't. The legwork has already been done for you. I built these scans to quickly and easily find the best candidates to trade. And the great part about this is they'll be automatically inserted into your programs, so you don't have to build them yourselves. You will also get this trading system. I talked about the RSI-2 trading system, the automated system, which has a slight variation to the exit criteria. You will get that. You'll get the exit criteria. You will get all of the variables included in this automated trading system. Okay? Again, it's up since December 3rd of 2018. It's up 28% with 88% winning trades, with the market only going up 3% over that time period. Most importantly, you're going to get as close to hands-on training as possible with both Steve Chappell and myself. Both Steve and I will be manning the chat rooms during the mastery sessions. You can ask us questions throughout the course. We'll both give you all our email addresses if you have any questions about anything, not only during the course, but after the course as well. You can feel free to email us as well. Now, this course is valued. The regular price for this course is $29.95. The early bird rate is still available for about another week or two at $24.95. However, if you order before the end of today's webinar, I'm going to stick around for a few more minutes just to answer a couple of questions that you guys have. But I'm going to have, let's see. Yep, thank you, John. John already has done that. In the chat box, guys, is that website that you see at the bottom, www.vectorvest.com/TLP. If you go to that website, within the next few minutes, as long as I'm on this telecast, you get I'll knock an extra $200 off. So 6 modules, 6 mastery support sessions, homework assignments, pre-built scans, VectorVest Premium for 60 days, 6 the live mastery sessions I said, the RSI-2 trading system as well. You'll get all that for $22.95, and you'll have access to it for an entire year. By the way, this is 100% money back guaranteed. So after the 7 weeks is over, if you've watched all the modules, if you watched all the mastery sessions, you've done all the homework assignment videos, and within the new university, we are able to tell if you've done all those things. If you say at the end of the 7 weeks, look, I didn't learn anything, I want my money back, we'll give you your money back, no questions asked. We will take the trading system away, and we will take those searches away, but we will give you your money back. It's a 100% money back guaranteed. Okay? Yes, so Gordon says, thank you, Gordon. Says, be sure to put the slides for today's presentation. Yes, I'm going to do that now, guys. Thank you for reminding me. So in the handout section of, where is it, of your GoToMeeting control panel, I'm going to drop in the PDF of today's slides. In a moment, in the handout section of your GoToMeeting control panel, you should see, it should say TLP, and it's a PDF. You should see that now. Okay? All right, here are the dates for the live mastery support sessions. First live mastery support session will be on July 29th. That's a Wednesday. That session will begin at 2 p.m. They are recorded and they are uploaded to the new VectorVest University as we go. The next session will be August 5th. The next session is the 12th, the 19th, the 26th, and September 2nd. All those sessions start at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And our live trading session will begin at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time on September 8th. That's a Tuesday. We start an hour before the market opens because there's a lot of work that needs to be done before the market opens. Now, you can do what I show you at night, the night before, but there is prep work. So you have to identify market bias. If you're bullish on the market, you got to run the scans. I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how to cherry pick the best candidates. We'll set up watch lists and portfolios of potential trades. Once the market opens, we'll check for follow through. We'll make sure that the stocks that we are considering buying have confirmed as well, have followed through as well. If they have, we'll place trades. We'll understand where our stop losses are and what our profit objectives are. David says, does the theory only work for swing trading or can it be applied to more longer term investments? Let me say this. The 50-50 search, the 50-50 strategy that Charles Schaap developed that I will teach you in Module 5 is a little bit more intermediate to longer term. The other ones are very short term. But the one that is a little bit more intermediate term to longer term, I don't want to say it's not short term, it's more intermediate, is the 50-50 strategy. So we did include one that's not as a short term system. It's a little bit more intermediate. Okay. Yes. So Orm is asking, what is the elite rate? The elite rate is $1497.50. That's half off the regular price. So when you go to VectorVest.com/TLP and you go to register, you'll enter your VectorVest information, your name, and all of your information, and we will know from that point once you continue whether you're an elite subscriber or not. Okay, and it's $1497.50. That's half off the regular rate. Orm is, you're welcome. Peter says, is RoboTrader applicable to myself in the UK? We don't have RoboTrader for VectorVest UK. We only have RoboTrader for VectorVest US and VectorVest Canada right now. So if you have VectorVest US, then RoboTrader, and you trade US stocks, then RoboTrader is available, but it's not available for VectorVest 7 UK. Okay. Ali is asking, I have a full-time job. How much do I need to dedicate my time for trade like a pro? The only system, guys, that you need to be in front of the computer at some point during the day is going to be the RSI 25 and the RSI 2. The other trading systems, everything else that we teach you can be done in the evening. It can be done on an end-of-day basis, okay? And we'll teach you how to do it that way. You know, you can run the Holy Grail at night to find trades for the next day. But I'll be honest, the two systems that do require you to be in front of the computer is going to be the RSI 2 and the RSI 25. All right, good, Peter. Good. Glad to hear that. All right, guys. Any other questions before I wrap things up? Look, that $22.95 rate, it'll be available for a little bit. Clark says, I'm trying to sign up. Good, Clark. Welcome aboard. Looking forward to working with you. That $22.95 rate, I know I said it's available only while I'm on the telecast. It's going to be available for a little while longer. So if you're watching this recording tonight, you may very well see that $22.95 rate available. But you don't want to miss it because it will go away at some point tomorrow. Okay. Yes, it does include the candlestick. So you'll have access to that candlestick course for free within our VectorVest University after you sign up. Okay, after you sign up. Orm is asking, is this a true auto trading system? All trades entered without my assistance? No. It does require you to acknowledge the alerts that you get. It's not fully automated yet. We are still currently testing the fully auto trader in-house. We're still doing that in-house. Not sure when that's going to be available, but we're still testing it in-house. But with the RoboTrader, the way it is now and the way you guys have it, you do have to acknowledge the recommendations, click a few buttons to actually place the trades. Okay, and you can do that from your phone as well. Okay, you can do it from the VectorVest mobile app. You don't have to be in front of your computer. You can actually do it from the VectorVest mobile app as well. All right, Clark, fantastic. Clark says, signed in, purchased. Welcome aboard, Clark. Looking forward to working with you, my friend. My email address, guys, is Jerry D. It's Jerry, D as in David, at VectorVest.com. If you have any questions tonight, tomorrow, this week, rest of this week, next week, about anything that I talked about today, about the course itself, just shoot me an email. And we'll go from there. Sean says, does RSI2 work on a smaller dollar stock? It does. It does. But just remember that that smaller dollar stock needs to be in an underlying uptrend. Price has to be above the 200-day moving average. Okay? It's really the concept that works. It doesn't really matter the price of the stock. It's the whole methodology that's so effective. Okay? So yes, it does work on smaller dollar stocks as long as the rules are met. Okay. Thank you very much, Sean. Appreciate that. Keith is asking, are options more profitable on our RSI, on the RSI2? I have never traded out the option before when trading this system, so I can't really tell you. Theoretically, it should be, right? Because you're getting so much more leverage. I just have never traded the option for on this system, so I couldn't tell you. All right, guys. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody. I look forward to working with each and every one of you. We will talk to everybody soon. Take care, folks.